No, usually we like to chase things, right? Of like maybe when you were like as like a little kid, you like to chase butterflies a lot, you know? Maybe that's just something that you just enjoyed to do. I don't know. But that's something like I used to do. Like I used to like chase like a ball rolling down the street, or like chase, like I used to chase a butterfly when I did one time, right? We like to chase things, but when we chase things, they usually run away. In this case, if you chase a butterfly, they'll just fly away and you'll never be able to catch them, right? But if you build a beautiful garden, then butterflies will start to come, right? That's when like bumblebees would come, like all these beautiful like animals start to come to your garden. But if they don't come to your garden, at least you have a beautiful garden, right? In this case, right? Don't try and chase somebody that's gonna continue just to run away, just if you're just trying to chase people, you're only just gonna waste their energy, right? But if you just build yourself up, then you can attract that thing that you want to attract. Because how do you want to attract a certain thing when you're not in a position to attract that certain thing? I'm not sure if that makes sense, but hopefully somebody understands. But like if you just try and like chase things, especially people, they're only gonna like run away even more. But if you build yourself and like become a person that you want to be, then that's when you're gonna start attracting more, right? But if you don't have anybody, if nobody's being like attracted to this thing to you, at least you built yourself up, like pat yourself on the back. Like if you don't if you like actively if you actively work on yourself, but then nobody comes, at least you worked on yourself, right? At least you did something for yourself, at least you did better. Like look at the brighter side, because sometimes we like to think that, like we want a certain person in our life, right? But sometimes they just run away a lot. And if we just continue to try and chase, they're only gonna run away even more. But if you want to attract a certain thing, you have to be in a position to attract that certain thing, right? So like what this means is like you build yourself up, like you actively work on yourself. Maybe you get into the gym, or maybe you find a new hobby. Maybe you just find yourself. I don't know what the case may be, but just find that one thing in your life that you can do, and it can change just like that. If you try and find that one thing that you can do to change, it's only going to make your life even better. It can't do no harm. Because if you do that thing to better yourself, maybe a person will stop by. Maybe a person will be interested in you. Maybe a person will, like find interest in you. But at least if someone doesn't find interest in you and someone doesn't come into your life, at least you actually did something for yourself and you actually built yourself up. Like don't even stress about that, because you did something for yourself. You might have intended to do it for another person, for them to say, "Hey, look at this person; they're actually doing something good for themselves," and I'm gonna like try again with this person. But sometimes that's not even what the case may be. Sometimes, and we just have to look at the reality side of it. But like, if this person doesn't come in our life, at least you did something. At least in this case, at least you have a beautiful garden. Because we just like to look at the bad things. We like to look at the bad side of things sometimes, because like we always want what we want. Like we don't usually look at what we can do to better ourselves. We like to do things for other people, but sometimes not even what we can do for our own selves first. We like to put other people first, but sometimes we forget to put ourselves first. Because if you put others first, how are you gonna put yourself first? Like, how are you gonna treat someone right if you can't even treat yourself right? It all comes down to like how you are as a person when you're alone. Like, who are you when like nobody is like interacting with you? Like, what kind of person are you when nobody wants to have interest in you? That might be a little harsh, but the harsh sometimes the harsh saying is what's true sometimes. And yeah, that's just basically it. Like, how are you gonna Like, stop trying to chase butterflies, but instead build a beautiful garden. Let's say stop trying to chase somebody that's only gonna fly away even more when you can just build. You can just work on yourself, work on your body, do something. Find a hobby, whatever that may be, man. I just hope you find it. It may be hard, but they will get better. Maybe you wanted that person to be in your life, but maybe God has different plans. You know, not everything in our life makes sense, and that's okay. Because not everything in our life makes sense, and that's okay because we're not supposed to know everything. We're not supposed to know why this person left. We're not supposed to know why God separated us from that person. We're not supposed to know why, but sometimes He will show you why, and that it will show you who you really are to show that you deserve better. Man, I hope whoever stayed this long, stop trying to chase a butterfly. Instead, build a beautiful garden so you can attract the butterflies. But if you don't have any butterflies flying to you, at least you have a beautiful garden. Just look at the brighter side of things. That's just all I have for today's video. If you made this far, I love you, but Jesus loves you more. I'll see you on next video.